And moving on and talking about the impact that Infosys numbers will have on our own markets today, delivered a weak number, shocked the street with an all-round miss. Rima is here with the earnings fine print. Rima?
It's a big miss on all fronts. The Infosys ADR was down nearly 10% on Thursday, and it followed it up with a 1.5% cut on Friday. So this morning, brace yourself for a big knock on Infosys. Now, revenues and margins missed the mark by a wide margin. Constant currency revenue growth for Infosys declined by 3.2%. Margins also fell by 50 basis points versus expectations of flat margins. Both these numbers are also weaker than what TCS had clocked in. The revenue this time, minus 3.2%, is much worse than what we had seen even during the COVID-hit quarters. The reason for the decline in revenues in the March quarter is because of unplanned project ramp downs across verticals. Not just BFSI, but even other verticals like retail, high-tech got impacted, and there were also a one-time impact from project cancellations. Remember, when we spoke to the TCS management on numbers, they said there were no project cancellations. Projects were only paused or deferred. But in the case of Infi, it appears that projects have also been cancelled. And despite the environment stabilizing in the month of March, the outlook is still very uncertain, which is why the company has guided for a very muted year. Revenue growth of just 4 to 7%, and margin range has also been brought down to 20 to 22%. Brokerages have slashed down EPS estimates, many downgrades coming in, picking up a few. CLSA has downgraded it from a buy to an outperform, target price down to 1,550, and target multiple is down to 21. Nomura downgrades it to a neutral. JP Morgan has anyway been bearish on the IT pack. They further downgraded Infosys to an underweight, and their target price is at 1,200, and Citi too has lowered its rating to a neutral. So a slew of brokerage downgrades, and remember, Infi amongst the pack was pretty much a consensus overweight because its valuations relative to TCS were attractive. It was growing at a fast pace. So institutions were overweight on Infosys, but now you are seeing downgrades coming through, and we could expect a weak start for Infosys. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that analysis, Rima. So Infosys definitely on our radar today. In fact, my colleague Ritu Singh caught up with the CEO of Infosys, Salil Parekh, and spoke to her regarding weak revenue growth and weaker guidance and ramp downs in the month of March. Let's listen in.
For the quarter Q4, what we saw is during the quarter, there were some clients where we saw ramp downs, and then there were some areas where we saw one-time situations. The bulk of the impact in the quarter was from the ramp downs that we saw during the quarter. There are two aspects to it. So one, on the ramp downs, there has been with some clients in the telco sector, in the high-tech sector, in retail, and in financial services, in mortgages, asset management, and investment banking. So those ramp downs, we saw some stabilization in March, but the demand environment is uncertain.